Great.
Hello, hello, hello. All right, we're at the second conversation in this Talk to the Experts web series. The whole purpose of this web series is to, one, get you off the news so that you're off everything going on with COVID-19 and stop counting on the number of cases and the number of people that have passed away, and to focus on how we can be more productive during this time. There's a lot of information out there, lots of things to kind of comprehend. So just putting everything together for you in one space so that you can be able to go back and refer to them. So I'm bringing in a series of experts in different industries, from coaches to productivity experts to interior designers, digital marketing for business owners, and all of that cool stuff. So today I've got Nike Famojuro with us. Nike is a time management and productivity strategist for mom entrepreneurs. Her passion is to see moms evolve to living their best lives without sacrificing family time and dreams. Yep. Her approach involves simple and practical steps that meet each mom entrepreneur at their level. And this shows moms, why didn't I think of that? It keeps moms motivated and accountable so that they can create the life they love. And when she's not working with her clients or speaking or facilitating a training, you can find her with her family and loved ones. Nikia also does lots of one-to-one coaching, and she's got online courses all on her website. So welcome with me, Nikia Famojuro, this morning. Hi, Nikia.
Thank you. Hi.
How's it going?
Good. It's going great.
Awesome. Okay, just before we go on, I'm gonna just share the PowerPoint here for people that might be joining us live today. So if you're joining us live, basically you want to make sure that your audio and video are muted. All your questions should go in the chat box. I'll be drawing Nika's attention to that, but you will get all your questions answered. And whatever resources Nika will be sharing with us today, those will be sent to you via email. So you don't have anything to worry about there. So let's just jump right in, Nika. Let's see what. Well, first, let's start with talking about you and MOMLeader, and tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about you and why we need to be listening to you right now.
Okay. I'm just going to go into the short version of everything.
Yeah.
So, well, you did a fantastic introduction. I just want to say, first of all, I'm really thrilled about this that you put together, because this is what we need right now. Because at the end of the day, where my heart is all of this is going to be over. And then the question is, what are we going to be after all this is all done? So thank you for doing this. Okay, so MOMLeader is something I'm super passionate about. I'm very passionate about mom, because when I became a mom, I found that there are lots of resources out there, but they're not really mom tailored. I always for a mom is usually different because you have the family part of it. So time management is where I'm at, because, okay, before I became a mom, when I was single, I was working full-time in corporate, and on the weekends, I was running like a wedding events business. And you know what? When you're single, you have all the time in the world. You can do everything.
That's right.
So prior to moving on from there, then I had kids, and then the story changed. So it was a case where as I got to sacrifice either my sleep to get the business going, or I have to sacrifice the family time to get the business going, or just give up on the whole business as a whole, right?
Right.
So when I get to that point, when I'm trying to figure out, okay, what do I do next? This is when I had to go into my training. So when I was corporate, I used to train time management. So I used to train corporate employees with their time. And I thought, oh, that's going to be easy. Let's just adopt that. But then I'm a mom. It's different. So I had to tweak it. And I call it mommify. I had to mommify.
Awesome.
Just to work for me. And at the time, what I was doing in my business was I was helping other moms to start their own businesses. That's what I was doing at the time. Okay. And I was doing all this time management mommification to help me run my business.
I kind of like that.
I know, mommification, right?
Yeah.
Help me run my business and still be a great mom, and still, not sacrifice myself, still look like what I used to be before I became a mom.
Right.
So, but then I found that over and over again that the problem with most moms wasn't the fact that they don't have great ideas. It was more of the fact that the time they had was so limited, like it's 2 hours, where you have to switch roles more or less in a day. And that's when I thought, you know what, let me share this, my mummification with these moms in my program, and it worked for them as well.
Awesome.
So that's when I kind of left the old business of trying to help moms set up a business and really dealing with the root cause of everything, which is time management, right?
Mm.
That's how MOMLeader
That's awesome. I need to be mommified. But so tell me, Nick, in your own experience, having worked with moms a lot, and even like right now, what have you seen to be the most I would say maybe the biggest struggle that moms seem to experience it, in your experience of working with them?
Yeah, well, I feel like the number one issue is we're not very clear on what we really, really want. And it's easy to see why that happens because, like, just imagine when you have a new baby, you forget about yourself completely. And it's about baby fed, baby sleep, baby clean, And sometimes it's hard for us to just switch back on when that season in our life is kind of not over, but slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
And we forget what we really, really want. So even though I always talk about time management, what I find myself doing most of the time is helping moms to set goals again, like getting back to the root cause of what do you really want? Where do you want to be? I get it. You're making adjustments because you're a mom, but who are you? What do you want? And I call it your mom identity, trying to find yourself in that sense, because most of the time as moms, what we do is we become this mom. Is either we go back to who we used to be before we became mom, or we just leave everything all together and be like,
right.
So just finding that mom identity is like the first place to start, and then making sure that the 24 hours you have, you're using it to follow through with this identity that you created. Yeah.
Amazing. And I feel like that's, even in my own experience, like when I had my daughter, it was like the first 6 months, it was just kind of about survival. Like if I got to do anything, it was like that was like a plus, but just this new living thing, almost kind of like, what am I going to do with this thing? And then you just laser focused on this thing must leave. I don't know what to do. Let's give it a life. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. Right now for me, so I run a business full time. I run Franco Studio full time. Yeah, with COVID and all that, I've not been able to take clients in because I'm a personal service type business. But here's the thing, as a business owner, there's still so much to do, right? I'm still working from morning till night. Now that I'm also, I also have my kid at home. So it's like momming full time and having work to do full time. So I find myself working like longer hours than I even did before, COVID happened. And I found myself struggling, like, why am I busier than I used to be? How do we juggle all these things right now with, I'm so used to working when my kid is outside at home to now she's home. What am I going to do? How am I going to juggle all these things before, I get overwhelmed by it all?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I feel like for me, I've been working from home for like 5 years now. I started off working, I had a regular full-time job, but I was lucky enough to work from home with it. And then I had a 1-year-old to deal with as well. So I know what you mean. Like you feel, I remember my colleagues used to feel that she's working from home. She has all the time in the world. Not really like that, because your family sees you at home and what they see is mom. They don't see the business owner. They don't see the entrepreneurs. They just see mom. And then I feel like the greatest challenge as well is because all you have is just a laptop in front of you. Like that's the only thing that represents your business. So where you can start from is, first of all, you need to appreciate what is going on. The truth is things have changed. A lot is going on out there. And you need to first maybe tweak your current schedule that you have before now, or maybe just ditch the whole schedule altogether. But once you're clear on that, because we as moms, I feel like most of the time we have a lot of times in denial with things. We're like, I can do this. Yes, you can do this. Slow down, Superwoman.
Yeah.
And realize that this season, this is what is happening. And the second thing you want to do is, once you appreciate that and you embrace what you're going through, is now do a time audit. Now ask yourself, how many hours do I really have in a day for whatever I have to do? I always say, people say 24 hours. It's not 24 hours.
No. Yeah.
So take that out first. I'm hoping you're getting about 6 to 8 hours of sleep in a day. So take that out from 24, even get 6 hours. That's 18 hours. You see how the reduction is really happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you sleep longer than that, it reduces the number of hours you have.
That's
So
right.
we'll do a 9 to 5. This is the number of hours I have. And then you split up your days into blocks. That's what I've done. And it's really helped me to transition easily. So you split I split my day with the way I do my training. I split it into 3 blocks. Everything falls within that 3 blocks. It falls out whether you're working, it falls in personal, or it falls in your reoccurring. Reoccurring, the basic stuff you're gonna do anyway. You're gonna do breakfast, you're gonna do lunch, you're gonna have a shower, blah blah blah. It happens every day, so it's recurring. So when you split that out, and then you ask yourself, if you have 16 hours or you have 14 hours, how many hours from the 14 hours can I dedicate to each block in my day?
Got it.
Just be honest with yourself. If you end up just having 2 hours dedicated to your working block, that's it. And you just have to realize that's it. Now, where I come in is I'm going to show you how to maximize that 2 hours so that when you're working, even though you're working 2 hours, it looks like you've done like 6 hours, right? You need to appreciate how many hours you actually have for each block in your day. That's where you start.
I think what I hear for me from what you're saying is to manage my expectations of how much I can work and can't work.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same thing. Like my once we wake up in the morning, get ready, my kid's out of the door, she's going to school. She doesn't even see me work because once she's back from school, it's mom, and that's all she sees. So it's probably conflicting for her too. And right now for me, I'm like, I still want to kind of maintain my hours and be mom full time, and that's kind of looking impossible. So just minimizing that expectation on myself going forward. Okay, that's a good point for me, and I'm going to take that to heart. But here's the thing: you talked about putting blocks of time and time chunks and all that. How would you suggest that we can kind of plan our days, schedule? How would we create a schedule? What do you suggest? What's the best way to basically create a schedule?
Okay, so there are quite a few steps before you just jump in and just start splitting up your day. You know,
Okay.
So I feel like the first place you want to start is, and that's why I have a quiz. Well, I call it a time management personality test on the website, which is www.momleader.com/superpower. Why I have that is the first place you want to start is to really identify, know yourself. Like we're so different, and people don't want to.
That's right.
Sometimes, like you could be a morning person, and maybe a night owl, and you need to respect that. Like, who am I? As a mom, who am I? And why I put that there is because, like I said, you know that season when you have the newborn, you kind of won't remember who you are.
Yeah.
Let's get back to reminding you of who you are and I like that. So we have so many factors. So you have the morning, night owl, you have energy levels. We're all different. Like you might wake up in the morning and feel pumped and ready to paint the house and move things around. I might be that one person's like, what is she doing? You know, and then we have different energy levels in a day, and you might be like, when it's noon, that's when you kickstart. So when you start from there, when you know when your different energy levels are, and you know whether you're a night owl or you're, you know, a morning person, the next thing you want to ask yourself is like, what is the most important task in your day? Like, identify that. And I'm gonna be honest, as a mom, don't be shy about what is important to you. If your business is the most important thing for you to get done in a day, it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't make you a bad mom, right? It's okay.
We're going to come back to that, talking about mom guilt. We're going to come back to that.
For sure. So it's okay. And if that's it, and you know that you have your highest energy level maybe between 10 and 12, then that's when you should do work in your business, because that's when you have your greatest energy. That's when you're going to be the most productive, the most creative. That's why I said it's not just about splitting your day into chunks. It's just understanding who you are, how many hours you have, and respect that's what you have, and then split it up to maximize your productivity.
Awesome. Okay. That's another point I gotta try. So let's come back to the mom guilt thing. Feeling like I'm working and I love what I do. And for most of us that work at home, especially entrepreneurs, we do this because we love it. And for people that work with employers too, they do their job because they love doing their job, right? And when the kids are not there, they just go all the way out and get things done. But then you're like, I need to do this. I like doing this, but I also got to be with this one. And, you know, you start feeling that mom guilt. How do you really, I don't know, overcome mom guilt? Is it possible to overcome it? Are there like practical things to do to overcome that?
I don't think you can ever overcome mom guilt. It's always going to be there. It's just like
Okay.
fear. Like fear is always going to be there. You is what you do that determines how you respond to it.
Mm.
So when it comes to mom guilt, I feel like the number one thing is just the pressure of the world standards of what
Mm.
a great mom is. Like
Mm.
like I could just imagine in this see.
Are you still there?
Okay, so there's just this great expectation about what a good mom is. And for me, I feel like one of the things I kind of embraced early on in motherhood is I'm the best mom for my kids. Like,
Mm.
it's about my family and what we need. And all of it is kind of interwoven, like what you said is I want to be a great mom, but I love my business.
Yeah.
And doing my business actually makes me a better mom because I'm not going to
Mm.
be no, that's the truth. Like for me, if I spend the whole day with my kids, I don't work on the weekends, so the
Okay.
weekends is for them. But during the week,
Awesome.
if I spend a whole day in my week with my kids, and I have stuff to do in my business. I'm not giving them 100%. No,
Mm.
I'm thinking about all the other things I need to get done. I might be a little bit grumpy as well. Like
Yeah.
it's just what it is. And that's why for me, what's helped me to manage the mom guilt is that time blocking system that I have.
Mm.
So when I know I'm in my working block, I just leave mom guilt out the door. Like I'm gonna get to you later. Right now, I'm a business owner. I am working in MOMLeader in my business.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm doing. I'm an entrepreneur. This is who I am right now. Yes, I'm a mom, when they scream, but right now, that's what I am.
And they do scream.
Yeah, and they will scream. So, but then that really helps me to manage that. But I feel like the fundamental thing, and that's why I say, even though I do time management, these are the other things that I have to cover when I'm working one-on-one, because the fundamental thing is to ask yourself, what kind of mom do you want to be? Like, what kind of
Mm.
mom do you want to be? And I answer that difficult question for myself. I have two girls. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. And I said, the kind of mom I want to be is I want to be a mom that my kids will look at and be very proud of and say,
Mm.
that's my mom. So
Mm.
what is it going to take to be that mom?
That person.
So if I'm working on my business, I tell myself, this is part of the dream. Like, this is what's going to make me to be that person. And
Mm-hmm.
it's okay if I just spend this 3 hours or this 4 hours or this 5 hours working my business, because I know that later on in my day, you're going to have my full attention. Like,
Right.
literally, I'm going to shut down the computer. I'm going to put my phone on mute and I'm
Mm.
all yours.
So let's talk about that. So that you touched on that. It's not enough to just time block. It's staying true to what you set for yourself. So when you're working, and you set things in place for the kids to do. And when you're with the kids, then you're not working, like you're putting down your phone and stuff like that. So what are your recommendations on how to manage that so that you're laser focused on what you're supposed to be doing at the moment?
Okay, so when it's time for you to start working, there are a lot of things I go into in terms of your distractions.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's the thing about moms, is always different from one mom to another. So the question is, if one exercise that people listening right now can do is, when you're working, have a note and a pen and start writing down your distractions. Like, what are the things that distracts me?
Mm.
Because if I ask you, like, what are your distractions? I know most of the things I get every time from the moms is, oh, it's my social media. Oh, it's notification. No. Sometimes it can be your 3-year-old asking for water every
Mm.
minutes.
That's
So
right.
we all have like peculiar distractions. And when you know your distractions, it's easier for you to actually prepare for it. So what
Mm.
I've done for me is I've identified some distractions. Like, for example, I work from home with my 3-year-old. She's going to ask for snacks. She's going to ask for her toys. She's going to ask for water. She's going to
Mm.
ask if she wants to pee and a pee again and pee and pee and pee. you know, so I know these things and I prepare for them. I kind of call them mom ninja. So
Mm.
like, you're ready. So when I'm going, because I work from an office in my basement, when I'm going downstairs, I have the snacks, I have the toys, I have the water, I have the door open. Like, I'm ready for, like, what are you going to give me?
Anything.
I'm ready for you.
Yeah.
So, but the only way you can prepare for that is if you actually document what your distractions are. So if you do that for like a week, you can clearly see it.
Mm.
Like, if it's your phone, if it's your email notification, if it's the noise outside, whatever distracts you, then you can prepare for it. So
Absolutely.
your question was more like, how do you stay true to the blocks?
Yeah.
So that's how you stay true to working block. And then when it comes to staying true to your personal blogs, which is maybe your family time,
Right.
or even your me time, like tell me how many
That's
times
right.
you put, run a top for yourself and you're in the top. It's supposed to be mommy me time, but mommy's thinking about what's for dinner, what's
That's
for
right.
lunch.
That's right.
Did I send the right email and all that stuff? So that one has to do with your internal distractions and you actually shutting that out. So that's there. So, yeah.
Amazing. So then, like for you, what are the best I would say best time management strategies that we could use or that we should be thinking about using or that you'd recommend to your clients to use, especially in this time?
Yeah. Well, I feel like for this season, the most important thing, first of all, especially if you're working from home and you don't run a business from home, but you're having to work from home as being employed, I feel like the most important thing you need to consider is actually have a dedicated workspace. That in a way kind of sends the message to the whole family that you're working. So wherever it is, you can fit it in, because like for me, I work from home, so I have an office. Most people don't.
Yeah.
So if it's the dining corner, you want to move things around, that's mommy's office. So they get that message, right? And set up the space, make it as pretty as you want it to be. Like for me, one of the things I adopted in setting up my office is I put my ideal customers avatar in mind. What would my ideal customer like, and kind of put my office in that, because it helps me. That's just
okay.
I'm sure that's why you have that behind you, but yeah. So I would say if you don't have one, set that up, make it safe, make it clean, make it safe is important because you don't want to end up with a bad back.
That's right.
Yeah. And then once you've done that, is some strategies I would give would be the 80-20 principle, which is look into the tasks that you carry out in a day and ask yourself, where is your 20%? What I mean by 20% is most of the time, the things that we do, the 80%, like the huge chunk of what we do, the returns we get back from it is just about 20 or 10% back.
That's right.
And sometimes it's just the 20% that we do that gives a bigger return. So look into your business or whatever tax you have planned at work or whatever it is, and ask yourself which one will give the biggest returns. And you just have to do it, because it's weird how when you think about procrastination, the reason why we don't do something is because we know this will give us the best results, but it's just not fun. That's what we're doing it. So we tend to waste time on things that gives us the least return, but is fun.
That's right.
So if that's the case, first one is the 80-20. Once you identify that, the next thing you want to do is whenever you sit down, if it's just 3 hours you have blocked out for your work, make sure that that is the very first thing that you tackle. That 20% that's going to give a huge return in your business, whatever it is, whether it's you going on a Facebook Live, whether it's you doing a podcast, whether it's you drawing out your marketing plan, whatever it is, identify that 20%. That should be the first thing you should tackle. So, and that's one. That's one strategy.
Okay.
I think I should stop.
No, you can go on. I do have questions about some of that, but I want to make sure that we're able to highlight the strategies and then we start asking questions based on that.
Okay. So another strategy that I say, which is something that can help you around the house, it's what I call live with and live without.
Okay.
So we do a lot of stuff in the house every single day as a mom, because we think that's what we're supposed to do. You want to wash the dishes, pick the living room, and all of that. Okay. So you need to think about it like as a person, and I always respect everybody's personality, is what are the things you can live with and what you can live without, because this is going to amp your productivity. So think about it this way. If you're the kind of person that you love a clean kitchen, if you decide this morning, I'm not going to touch the kitchen, I want to go get some work done in my business. If you're going to be working on your business and you're going to be thinking about the dishes, well, that's not productive. So
that's right.
You cannot live with that. So why don't you just go clear up the kitchen, set a timer for yourself, give yourself 15 minutes. I call it, imagine you have a guest coming in 15 minutes, clean up, kind of speed clinic we do when you think someone is coming over in the next 15 minutes. Yeah, do that. Go into the kitchen, clean it up, and just imagine someone is coming in the next 15 minutes. And go back to work because your productivity is very important. So live with, live without. If the laundry bugs you, do the laundry before you start work. So that kind of thing. And if you're okay with it, just be okay with it.
Yeah.
Like, we're going through a lot right now. And
that's right.
if you're okay, that's okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to go back to the 80-20 principle just a little bit, especially for people who are employees. So they've got employers, they've got people that they report to. For entrepreneurs, I believe it's a little bit easier because you can easily decide for yourself what's more important to you, what's income generating and what's just doodads or good to haves, right? But when you have an employer who dictates what you should be doing, how do you kind of manage that with knowing that this is what's important in my job, in my role to be doing, but this is what the employer is saying? How do you kind of juggle that?
Well, the truth of the matter is, if he's the one paying you, what he's telling you is more important than what you say.
Well, I guess.
Right? And at the end of the day, you don't want a case where when all of this is over and you're back at work in your office, you don't want your boss to call you in and say, you didn't manage working from home well. So we've all, I don't know, I've worked full time, I've worked corporate. I know the things I need to deliver to my boss that's going to make them feel like great job. And
Got
in
it.
my own little mind, I know the things that we should really be doing. But they don't want to do that. They want it to be done. That's the most important task for my job, right?
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit, earlier in the conversation, you mentioned the time management personality test. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay.
You also kind of mentioned the link that too. If you want to say that again, that would be awesome so that we can kind of revise that. Okay. What does it entail and how does it really help us?
Okay, so the link is momleader.com/superpower. Okay. And I call it superpower because that's where your superpower really is, when you realize who you are. So the test is just a couple of questions, like 20 questions. And at the end of it, once you answer the questions, you get an email with your results trying to tell you who you are. I kind of put each personality, I just have the 4 personalities and I put them like superhuman personalities just because I know superhumans.
We are superhuman.
And we need to embrace that. Yeah. So you might be getting things like Captain Mom and, Super Mom and Wonder Mom. Yeah, because you are a superwoman, and whatever strengths you have, you need to play to it. It's going to show you your strengths when it comes to time management. It's going to show your weaknesses, which is okay because no one is perfect. But now you know, and then you can know how you can plan your day to help with those things. So that's what the test is really about.
Awesome. So Nika, is there anything else you would like to share with us? Like, what should we be thinking about with COVID being at the top of everyone's mind, working from home, trying to just juggle the world and not panicking whether or not you're going to get the virus or not, and staying at home? You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Yeah. How should we just kind of bring everything together and still remain sort of focused on everything we're doing?
I mean, to be very honest, whether you want to think about it or not, because your subconscious mind knows what is going on, it's there, right? And it worries everybody when people have lost family members in this, or friends, or you're just washing your hands endlessly from morning to never, we're all kind of affected by this, and we're just kind of making the most out of it. And for me, I feel like as a mom, gosh, we've been through a lot. We've been through where your baby's crying and everyone is looking at you like, what's wrong with her? And you're like, if only I knew what's wrong with her, right? So I know we have so much strength and we can tap into that strength at this moment to birth amazing things. Then again, I just want to respect the fact that if you decide that, you know what, today I'm doing absolutely nothing, that's okay too. That's okay.
It sound comes to mind when you say that.
Yeah, if you decide to take the day off, that's okay. You just have to still make care for the babies though. But one thing I just know is this season would definitely pass. Nobody knows when or
that's
how.
Right.
It would pass, but this is a great time to also kind of reconnect back to yourself and to know yourself more. And do things that you've always put on the list. One day I will do that.
That's right. And there's so many of that. I'm sure many of us have that.
I know. I know. Go learn the French. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah. Okay, I'm just I'm sharing my screen here to see Nika's resources. We did mention the time management personality test. So if you want to go check that out, it's at MOMLeader. The link is there. And for people who registered to join the live audience, you will be getting this in your email, so you don't have to start writing anything down. And Nika also publishes weekly YouTube videos on productivity. So if you want to get a dose of that weekly inspiration, that would be the link to go get that. Oh, it's been amazing. Thank you so much, Nikki, for coming this morning and talking about productivity. I have certainly learned to manage my own expectations of myself in this season, and to just, it's okay to take a break, and it's okay to do nothing. I'm going to hold on to that. And Nikki said so.
No, you can quote me. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for coming. So in the whole web series, I'm just going to put up here our next couple of speakers. So I think April 2nd, yeah, that's tomorrow. So we're going to be answering all questions on mortgage deferments, everything you need to know in this season about mortgage with Erica Cusimano at 12 noon. April 6th, we're going to be learning about how to love your home in this season, since we're going to be staying in our home more than usual. So yeah, and then we're going to be talking to Erin Johnstone next week at 10 a.m. on 7th of April, how to manage all that anxiety and go from anxiety to serenity. Yeah, and that's it for today. It's been very exciting again talking to you, Nikki. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for your time, and let's keep in touch.
Yeah.
You take care now.
Yeah, take care.
Bye-bye.